surface, lost my heart when I put up in a German. I pulled up clean on detergent. Baby, I can show you that you're worth it. You make my soul resurface, lost my heart when I put up in a German. I want superstar status, Versace on the cover, got designer on the mattress. You can tell by the stitching, I got new inside of fashion. Baby, say I'm tripping, I be ballin' like a maverick. And I feel like it's money, shit, a passion. Hop inside a spider and I put that bitch to action. And you can have an equal or opposite reaction. Feel the magic in the air with the money that I'm stacking. I want superstar status, Versace on the cover, got designer on the mattress. You can tell by the stitching, I got new inside of fashion. Baby, say I'm tripping, I be ballin' like a maverick. And I feel like it's money, shit, a passion. Hop inside a spider and I put that bitch to action. And you can have an equal or opposite reaction. Feel the magic in the air with the money that I'm
And he's again muted, so sorry for that. But I'm back here. Yeah, it's Thursday again. That means yet another stream, and we had a quite a long pause. That was the week, or actually month of conferences. We've had the JS World, then we were looking at Gatsby Conf with a bunch of talks. So it was a pretty busy month, February. But now we're back. Now it's March. Things are getting a little bit slowly back into normal. But there is one topic that I'm bringing back from January, and that is CloudFlare pages. I really wanted to take a look at those at start of January, but it seems that their beta was closed for external people, and it was based upon request, and they did not grant my my request. So I couldn't get into CloudFlare pages before, but now the good thing is now they are finally live. Maybe it's because GatsbyConf bring the news about Gatsby Cloud and its completely revised pricing. So Gatsby Cloud is now free, and it's got a very generous free tier. So that would be yet another competition for CloudFlare pages. So maybe they decided to go live with that. I don't know, but the important thing is we can try it out, and I will try to do so today. Now, first thing, what I want to do is I'm gonna show you what kind of site I'm gonna be using there. So just give me a second. I'm gonna move it to the right screen in a moment. So it's under Kentico and Gatsby Star Content Lumen. So we're gonna try to do it with the Gatsby site. Yeah, this is the Gatsby site Content Lumen. I always like to start with this site because it's the implementation is quite simple. It works just like that. The only thing we need to provide are the project IDs and potentially the preview keys, but that's all. Yeah, there is nothing special in the site, and it works just like that. So that's why I like to use this one. I would also try a Next.js one because I don't know if CloudFlare pages can actually handle Next.js, but I guess that would be for we can try that next time. Because right now I don't have a very good fitting Next.js site. I could probably use my personal site there as well. But let's stick with this one for now. Now let's see the live demo. I'm thinking that I don't really need to clone it, but I'm gonna fork it just to be sure. So this is the site. You see this one is running on Netlify, so I wanna check how hard it's gonna be to have it running on CloudFlare pages. Now let me check. I'm gonna open the headless CMS too. I think so. If you're just starting out with the site, what you can do is there is a backup package, and you can import that backup package using Template Manager right into the headless CMS. Right? I might as well show you that because I'm not sure that my projects actually contain the right set of data, so it might be easier to just start on a green field. But let's see. Oh, hey Ryan, good to see you here, my man. Good to see you here. Yeah, I think everything's all right. Finally getting back to streaming. It gives me some time to be focused on things, you know. That's always good. Otherwise, you know, the day's been crazy. But what I can show you later the new Vue 3 app. I was looking into Vue 3 recently, so stick around if you wanna see more. Now, I'm gonna get back into the screen in a second. I'm just trying to see if I have the project somewhere. Gatsby Lumen. Okay, so this is the Gatsby Lumen. So this is Kentico content, headless CMS that I hope you're already familiar with. If you're not, let me know. I can show more of that CMS. But this is the Gatsby Lumen project. This is eventually what you get if you go through these steps. Yeah, so if you import these things in the headless CMS, not this. This is what you're gonna get. Yeah, it's just one import away. Now, what I want to do is I want to try. I'm gonna fork this one. Yeah, I'm gonna fork this one into my repositories, and then I'm gonna try to connect this repository to CloudFlare pages. So let's check. CloudFlare. I think my browser should know the credentials. I have no idea what my credentials are. I never do. I just use the password manager. Okay. Let's see if that works. Oh, there we go. Finally. All right. So we're in. I think I used to have some workers here. Maybe they're still here. Yeah, there's still one worker here. Not scheduled. By the way, we have a few articles on workers coming. So if you're not following the content profile on Twitter, make sure to do so, or follow me. That's the ultimate good choice. So it's twitter.com/underbus. I always retweet everything that's important. So we're gonna have some content around Cloudflare workers as well. But today we want to look at pages, right? Now this is where last time I just saw the request form. So finally we have something here. We have a create project here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And all right. So what benefit do you get by using Cloudflare? I don't know, Ryan. I don't know yet. I'm about to find out. If you mean pages, if you're talking about workers, I think that's like Netlify functions. And so far, I wasn't able to run npm packages on the Cloudflare workers. So if you can't run npm packages now, there are some that were included by default, like I think Axios or some of the basic ones. But if you cannot add yours, that's a big minus. But that's probably just my lack of knowledge. Yeah, I'm sure that they have documentation covering all this. So let's just not jump to conclusions. I think the offering is very similar to Netlify. But right now I want to check the pages. So let's connect the GitHub account. I want to only select the repositories. And let's see if this was already cloned. So all right, so we're here. Gatsby starter content Lumen was already cloned, so we can give Cloudflare access to that repo. Read and access. Read access to code and metadata. Read and write access to checks. Well, okay. What benefit? I don't know. Yeah, that's true, Ryan. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We're always learning. Last week on Friday, I spent all my Friday, and it's a bad thing to start learning stuff on Friday because you got Saturday and Sunday as a free days. And if you just get into something on Friday, that means your whole weekend is gonna be sacrificed. Yeah, just like it happened with me and Vue. So not the best idea, but never mind. Here we go. So we got this repository, perfect. And let's begin the setup. So far it seems like the same way as Netlify. Although I'm just talking about stuff here and I'm still able to click through things and not screw anything up. So that's, I would say this is a small plus for Cloudflare. Alright, setup builds and deployments. Project name, Gatsby starter content Lumen, that's fine. Production branch will be master, correct. Now build settings, if your project uses a static site generator or build tool, set the build instructions for Cloudflare. Okay, we're using Gatsby. Nice that it's here. So let's look at that, yeah? So we got Gatsby, we got Next.js, we got Nuxt. Let's see if we have grid sum. Oh, there's a grid sum right here. What else we have, guys? We have Hugo, we got Jekyll. Nice. Do we have static here? Oh, static's not here. All right. So we, at least we got Cloudflare on one thing. There is no static, but then again, Netlify doesn't have this at all. So I'd say this is a little plus to Cloudflare. Cool. All right. I don't know what this does though. select the framework to prefill recommended settings. Okay, so I assume this is just gonna pre-fill the build command and build output directory. Okay, this is handy. This is nice. Otherwise, I always, you know, whenever it asks me for a build command, I don't know if I should, so there is a little note here, but I never know if I should just include an npm run or if that's, you know, automatically inferred. I don't know. But this is nice. So you just select what you're using and you have the build command here and you have the build output directory. That's cool. All right. Now, root directory, your project's root directory where CloudFlare runs the build command. If your site's not necessary. Okay, this is interesting. This is good. Now, I can show you what I have. So I can show that right away, actually. So one of the nice projects that I've been working on in the past few days or weeks. So you know that we have a bunch of MVPs in content, and we have a project in content that's used to collect all their activities. And in scope of that project, we actually have 3 applications. One is for custom elements, so that's what we use in the headless CMS to display custom types of data. Next one is serverless functions. There are 3 serverless functions that are actually supplying, or that contain some logic around workflows. Yeah, so they manipulate content based on workflows automatically. And we have the website here. Website is just a site. I can show you that, or maybe, yeah, in a moment. But the website, what I'm talking about is that this is a Vue 3 site, and all of these 3 things are deployed on Netlify, although each site has its own, well, site. So these are essentially just 3 websites on Netlify. Yeah. Now the good thing is that you can set up in Netlify a build directory and so on, but it wasn't as straightforward. Yeah. You have to kind of have experience with that. Now when we go back here, this looks like the path is exactly what I need, yeah? So your project's root directory. So I would just put here serverless functions and we'll pick that up. Or at least it seems like it. I don't know, I haven't tried. But this is, it's good that it's right in the installation process. Yeah, you have it right here as actually even before environment variables. And I think that this is a good place to have this. Because if you don't care, you just have it collapsed, and if you do care, you can set it up right away. This is nice. I like it. And then environmental variables, of course. Then let's add here. Oh, I don't actually remember what was the name of the variable. Okay, so it's content project ID. So let's put that in, and I'm gonna add here the project ID from the headless CMS if I find the tab where I opened it. I think it was another browser window. Here we go. So let's go to project settings and API keys. Perfect. Let's copy that. Yeah, Ryan says, same happens to me. Friday should be for finishing a star. I agree. But it never is like that, is it? I always end up finishing stuff on Monday and Tuesday. All right, so we're gonna leave the path. We're gonna set up the project ID, and then what I also want to do is set up a preview key, just as a test, you know. Let's set up a preview key. I'm gonna copy it from the API keys. So here's the primary key, and we're gonna enable the preview. Yeah, that's another environment key here. True. All right, so we're gonna save and deploy. Now, moment of truth, but I think that this is gonna work. This is very simple site. Nothing to be worried about here. Then I'm gonna try one of these things to see. Well, this app, for example. Yeah, we can try to do that. That's gonna be more interesting. All right, maybe good thing to know would be how long the build takes. Now, I don't know how long it takes on Netlify. I'm gonna check that. Okay, so now it's building the app. And I don't know if I actually have the same site deployed on Netlify anywhere. I don't think so, actually. All right, we're gonna do that in a second. So it's still building up. It's a Gatsby app, so it's actually getting all the data and all the preview data as well, and building the whole thing internally from the Gatsby nodes. So I would say it's allowed if this takes a little bit longer. I think on Gatsby Cloud we were looking at a few minutes of build time. I don't know, but this is so far it's. I would say this is okay. If this takes over 2 minutes, that would be bad. But we'll see. But I like the UI. It's nice and clean. Yeah, Ryan. CloudFlare pages is like Netlify. I think so. So far it looks the same. They claim that it's a hosting for Jamstack sites, so that's what I would expect. Yeah. So it seems like it. But this takes a bit too long. It's over 1.5 minutes already. Oh, and it failed. Wow, okay. Let's see what's wrong. Not finished openability Gatsby configs. Failed build command. What's wrong? We encountered an error trying to load your site's Gatsby config. What? What's wrong with the config? What's wrong? Gatsby config is right here. This should be fine. Let's try to restart it. And just to make sure, I'm gonna do the same on Netlify. So I'm gonna go here with create a new. Okay, let's put this one here and this one there. Yes, this is what I want. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same. Right, I'm gonna add the repository here too. Gatsby starter control. I think this is the one. Okay. Do we have a Netlify build actually? Let me check the package JSON here. So we got build Netlify. All right. But we don't need this one, I think. We can just do npm run build. Publish directory is public. All right. Oh, there was actually okay. There was a advanced tab, and I just was too fast. But I definitely want to check the environment variables. Okay, so this is building again. I'm gonna just quickly, or maybe I can copy. Where are the settings here? Can I copy the variables from here? Oh yes, I can. Cool. All right, so I don't have to, go from screen to screen. I'm just gonna copy it from here. So preview enabled is gonna be true. We're gonna do the preview key. And project ID. Cool. Okay, it's building now. So this one is still in progress. Okay, this failed again. Not finished, open and validate Gatsby configs. I don't know what's going on here. Cannot read property split of undefined. Now I'm interested to see if we're gonna get the same error from Netlify here. That means I'm doing something wrong, right? Because I think that the build is configured the same way. It was npm run build, right? Oh, it was Gatsby build, but that's the same. Like here, Gatsby build actually is npm run build, so that's the exact same command. And I think this works here. Open and validate Gatsby configs. This works here. It's the completely same repository, so why does it work on Netlify and doesn't work on CloudFlare? That's weird. See here, site is live. Okay, here the site works. So why doesn't it work here? It says cannot read split of undefined. So let's try to Google for it. CloudFlare. Okay, nothing that would be strictly related to CloudFlare. So let's try to see Gatsby config. Gatsby plugin. All right. Let's see if there is any solution to that. Oh, language. Okay, this is interesting. I think I forgot to set that. Let's see. Yeah, this is definitely something that I totally forgot. But interesting is that on Netlify I didn't have a problem with that. Okay, but yeah, that would be my issue, my bad. Let's go back here and configure that then. Environment variables, we're gonna edit the variables and add a new one. Language code names, and we are, I think that, where is the headless CMS again? Got way too many browsers open again. Okay, let's take a look at localization, and we got two languages here, CS, CZ, and ENUS. All right, so it's the same as here in the template file, so I'm just gonna copy that and save it. Interesting that this worked though. All right, let's fix it here as well. So, oh, where did I save it? I thought I already saved it here. Oh, here it is, okay. So language code names. Let's save it there. Oh, okay. Now this is interesting. So we got production and preview. Interesting. So let's set this for both. Language code names EN US CS CZ. Okay. Now let's see. I guess I have to trigger this again. So the good thing about Gatsby Cloud, one thing that I really liked is that when you change an environmental variable, it triggers a new build automatically. That doesn't happen for CloudFlare pages. I don't think it happens for Netlify 4.19. Yeah, it didn't happen. So I have to trigger it manually. So I kind of like that. That when it happens automatically. Now, how do I trigger the build here? I'm missing the trigger build here button. So how do I do that? Change production branch? No. Deployments. Oh, okay. So I can retry the deployment here. That's the only chance I have. So I have to open it. Oh, I bet it just restarts the site rather than the build process. Okay, fair point. But I told CloudFlare that I'm working with Gatsby, so when you change environment variables, you always need to rebuild. But maybe I'm just looking for a way too sophisticated feature. Oh, look at that! Something's happening here. Failed to build site. Okay. I think I broke something. Ooh, 403. Interesting. Let's try to see what's wrong. So 403 would probably mean that the preview key is wrong. Otherwise, I don't know why it would complain about 403. So let's try to copy it once again just to be sure. You need to see that CSC set should be fine. Okay. Interesting. So there's still some kind of magic here. All right, here we go. We're still building the application on CloudFlare, so it's gonna take a second. Again. In source nodes, request failed the status code 403. Yeah, see you around. Thanks for stopping by. Good having you here. Wow, this is really interesting. Okay. Max listeners exceeded warning. Event emitter memory leak detected. Okay, what's that about? I gotta check this out. Okay, so this is probably some kind of problem with Node. I don't know, doesn't seem like a problem with the app. Okay, let's see here. It seems like this build finally went through. So now the situation turned. Like we cannot get the build work on Netlify, and now it works on CloudFlare pages. So this is interesting. But it seems like the site was deployed. Let's see. Wow. Okay, this works. Pages.dev, nice domain. Cool. So this works. This is nice. It's quite fast though. Nice. All right, all the pages were correctly created. I think we're good. Nice. So this works. Let's try to fix it here on Netlify. I don't know why it's not running now. Oh, it's still using the build Netlify. I think I specifically said that I don't want to do that. Let me see. npm run build. So what if we just Gatsby build? But I think it may, yeah, I think it may ignore whatever I tell it and just use whatever is on the repository. Let's check the logs here actually, where it says something. Okay, here it is. So different build commands detected, gonna use the one specified Netlify configuration file. All right, so in my fork, I'm gonna delete that configuration file for Netlify. There it is. There it is. So let's edit this. Can I actually delete file directly from here? Oh, okay. Interesting. So it's also sets the environment files. So Netlify was cheating. It had this file in here. All right, I'm gonna fix that. I'm just gonna delete all of those things. Perfect. Now this is empty. I wonder if I can. Yeah, it doesn't seem I can delete file here. Well, never mind. It's empty right now, so maybe Netlify automatically detects the change. Perfect, here we go. So it should probably just build the stuff now. And then I want to check the time actually. So we started 4:31:33. And let's check how long it took CloudFlare to build all these things. I like the UI, by the way. I like this one better. It has more like a clean and enterprise kind of feel. So this took 2 minutes, 11, 16, 47. So 2 minutes, 47 seconds. 2 minutes, 47 seconds. So that means if we are I have to write this down. So 4 minutes, or 2 minutes, 47 seconds, CloudFlare. Let's see Netlify. Okay, I'm looking for the timestamp when the site was live. All right, 4:32:44. 4:30:44. So that is 1 minute and 11 seconds. 1 minute, 11 seconds. So that's half the time than CloudFlare. I wonder why that is. But yeah, it's much faster, it seems. Now I want to check also the important stuff. Like that's the generating pages and sourcing nodes. Now let me see if I can find it in the log here. So these are the node packages. And here we go. So source and transform nodes took 1.7 seconds. Source and transform nodes 1.4. So this is pretty much the same, like 10% difference. That doesn't even make a difference. And then I want to check the generating pages. Run page queries. I think that's the one. Yeah, again, pretty much same result. So this was the same. So that means for large sites, when this is really an issue for large sites, right? Like here, we only have a few pages, so it takes 1.5 seconds. But for larger sites, sourcing nodes can easily take a minute or two. So this would be something to check as well. But all right, it seems like the site is working. Here and here too. So nice. I think that the experience was comparable. That's all right. Now the next thing I want to try, now that we know that this actually works, I want to see why there are environmental variables for preview and production. So let's see if there is something related to previews. But I don't see anything. So there is only one domain for me. and nothing more. If I go back here, so this is interesting. So the only mention of previews is in the environmental variables, nowhere else. Okay, probably, yeah. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Okay, so control access to your Gatsby, starter content, Lumen, pages dev, preview deployments with CloudFlare access. So this is coming soon. All right, now that makes sense. So I assume that it's gonna also support the preview builds, but it's not available yet. So we're gonna have to get back to this at a later time. But this seems interesting. Like this is what Gatsby Cloud does. Yeah. Gatsby Cloud gives you two versions of the site, and one is for preview, one is for production. And then it totally makes sense to have two sets of environment keys, yeah, because on production you would disable the preview, and on preview you would enable it. So that makes sense. But here it seems like it's only coming soon. So and you can set up custom domain. That's nice. So that's the same as Netlify. Okay, yeah. So this works. The next thing I want to try is, like I said, with I'm gonna open the other site so that we can take a look. This one. So this site, that's the one that I told you about earlier in the MVP project. So the site is actually here in a subfolder called website/app, and on Netlify we can define it or configure it, but it's not as straightforward. Like you can define a repository and then you can define a base repository. Yeah, that means Netlify will take this repository and only build that that directory and only build that subdirectory. Then you can define the build command and other things. Of course, the publish directory always has to be within that path. Yeah. So let's see how we can do this on the CloudFlare pages. So I'm gonna go back to pages. How do I create? Okay, here we go. Create a new project. Oh, okay. Now this is interesting. So I cannot create another site from the same repository. Gatsby starter content Lumen is already connected to an existing project. To use this repository for a new project, first disconnect it from your other project settings page. Okay, now that's interesting. So that means if I have a repository and I want to set it up as one site, and someone else from my team wants to do the same for their site, I'm not sure this is gonna work. Like, why is there such a restriction? I don't know. But that doesn't matter. What we can do is, I even want to add another repository to this, so it doesn't matter. But this is a surprising restriction. If your repository is not shown, configure repository access for the CloudFlare pages app on GitHub. Yeah. This is something that I noticed on Gatsby Cloud as well. Like, if you find yourself in a situation where you want to add another repository, and the system just tells you if your repository is not shown, configure the access for the CloudFlare pages on GitHub, it's not really helpful. Like, now I need to go, this is not even clickable, so now I need to go to GitHub and spend a fair amount of time trying to find how to do that, how to configure these apps. Now, on Gatsby Cloud, what you could do is you could just click on the GitHub account. If you did that, it would again bring the pop-up and it would show you the nice GitHub UI, and you can add more repositories. But here, I don't see how I can do that. What if I add account? Okay, here we go. Okay, so if I add account, it takes me back to the UI that I was talking about. All right. That's fine, but still, it's not 100% straightforward. Like, Netlify does a much better job at this. Netlify gives you the button right away. Now we're looking for MVP project. Okay, save. Okay, MVP. Okay, now so what I want to check is that would be interesting. So let's check. MVP production branch is main. Framework is gonna be just view. So npm run build, that's a correct build command. I think that the build output directory is gonna be dist, not public. And the root directory is gonna be /website/app. Yeah, that's when we go back to this repository, it's /website/app. Yeah, so that's what we want to do. Environment variables, I think that there are a bunch. Let me see. Oh, where do I find that? Oh, here. Okay, now these are the project ID is fine, but the preview key, I don't want to have that publicly available, so I'm just gonna take it to another screen here. So let's add that, and let's add the preview key. And there we go. Save and deploy. Now what I want to see is if we have the restriction for one repository, I want to see if we can actually have multiple sites based on the same repository if we define the root directory, because that's exactly this case that I have currently on Netlify. I have the same repository used for 3 websites, but each of those websites have different root directory. Yeah. So let's see if that will work. Now this is a very easy site, so it just takes a bunch of node modules and we should be fine. So it's cloning Git repository, building the app. That should be quite quick. Okay, I have to say, from what I'm looking at, it seems like it's a bit slower than Netlify. So Netlify is really quick. Like, when we look at this one, so 11:19. So here you see it was 40 seconds from the start of the build till the site was live. 40 seconds. So here we're already waiting 1.5 minutes. Yeah, and it's okay. Now I deployed the site, so we're waiting 1.5 minutes. So that's twice the time. So it seems like to be twice slower than Netlify. Now let's see if this works. Okay, yeah, the site works nicely. So this is cool. Okay, so site works. It took twice as long, but okay. Now what I want to check is if you can actually create another site. If you can create another site. And we cannot use the same repository because it's already in use. Disconnected. Okay. So that's kind of a big problem for me at this point, because this repository is used by multiple, or this repository contains multiple projects in there. And it doesn't make sense to have 3 separate repositories because they eventually belong under the same roof. Yeah. And for CloudFlare pages, I cannot use the repository for another project. So this kind of sucks. And it would not be suitable for this use case. No. Yeah. I don't think I can. Yeah. So just a restriction that we gotta work around. So yeah, otherwise I think the pages are quite nice alternative, but I don't see any added value compared to Netlify currently. So both seem to be very good. Maybe the UI is a bit nicer, and the process, you know, for creating a new project is a bit more straightforward. I would say I like the UI a little bit better. but otherwise it seems like it's very comparable. But I have yet to check the Cloudflare workers, so maybe that would make a difference. And there was a concept in Cloudflare's offering that was called durable functions, or not functions. It was durable objects, I think, which claimed to give you some sort of state storage for serverless functions. Now, that's something that I've been dealing with a lot, is that serverless function, if you want to store something in the scope of a serverless function, you have to use like a PhonaDB or another external data storage, right? But you just don't want to spend too much time setting that up. So you rather just drop it and use a stateless function. But if they offer something that would give us an easy storage for serverless functions, that could be a game changer. But I'm not seeing that right here anywhere. So I think that we're gonna have to wait for this offering for quite some time. But in terms of pages, I think it's nice that they offer this, but I'm probably not gonna migrate all of my sites from Netlify right now. We'll see in the future how it works. All right, guys. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions for me, let me know. Otherwise, I think that's it for today's stream. Next week, I don't know what we're gonna be doing next week. If you have any ideas for next week, or what you want me to show, let me know. Let me know on Twitter, twitter.com/underboss. Let me know here in comments. That's also fine. I try to check all the platforms. So feel free to let me know if you want me to show something. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see what's the hottest topic for next week. I want to look into Cloudflare more, so maybe we'll stick with Cloudflare for a while. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you next week on Thursday, and until then, yeah, see you and have a great weekend.